The findings of the special counsel conclusively refute your past and present assertions and have exposed you as having abused your position to knowingly promote false information. As such, we have no faith in your ability to discharge your duties in a manner consistent with your constitutional responsibility and urge your immediate resignation as chairman of the committee.
What happens when the biggest peddler of the Russia hoax finally gets confronted with the truth he spent 2 years trying to bury? This week, Adam Schiff was publicly called out, exposed, and directly told to resign by his own committee members. Was this the moment the Schiff narrative officially collapsed, or just the beginning of something even bigger? We're breaking it all down right now. Before we dive in, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because here, we cut through the noise and get straight to what really matters for America's future.
I'm going to turn to our witnesses who are the subject of the hearing today, but before I do, and as you have chosen, instead of addressing the hearing to simply attack me, consistent with the President's attacks, I do want to respond in this way. My colleagues may think it's okay that the Russians offered dirt on a Democratic candidate for president as part of what was described as the Russian government's effort to help the Trump campaign. You might think that's okay. My colleagues might think it's okay that when that was offered to the son of the president, who had a pivotal role in the campaign, that the president's son did not call the FBI. He did not adamantly refuse that foreign help. No, instead, that son said that he would love the help of the Russians. I think it's immoral. I think it's unethical. I think it's unpatriotic. And yes, I think it's corrupt and evidence of collusion. Now, I have always said that the question of whether this amounts to proof of conspiracy was another matter. Whether the special counsel could prove beyond a reasonable doubt the proof of that crime would be up to the special counsel, and I would accept his decision, and I do. Mr. Ambassador, you are recognized for your opening statement. I will not yield. Mr. Ambassador, you
gentlemen, yield because you just made some things about all of us that I think we all should get the opportunity to respond to. If you're going to say we think, you ought to allow us to speak of what we think.
You can use your 5 minutes to speak. You attacked me in your opening statement, and
I have not had an opportunity to respond at all, especially to your statements of what we think, because no one over here thinks that. No one over here. I mean, you cannot speak for us.
Ms. Turner, you're not recognized.
Mr. Chairman, I'm asking for your resignation today because I believe you are advancing Putin's work. I believe the chair has abused his power in these processes, and he's misrepresenting the information that we've received in classified sessions. Now, Mr. Chairman, when this body understood that McCarthyism was something to be rejected, it for years watched it. But you are using that.
Gentleman from California withdraws a point of order who seeks recognition. Gentleman from California is recognized.
Mr. Chairman, much as I don't like certain parts of the Mazur decision, it clearly applies in this case, and the committee is required to engage with the White House in order to seek an accommodation over materials held by a private party, as they were in the Mazur's case, and seek to resolve this with the White House. So I would ask unanimous consent that we enter into the record your correspondence to the White House.
Objection.
Seeking to engage them to resolve this. And I thank the chairman for not objecting. Can you produce that correspondence to the White House asking for accommodation on these materials you sought by this subpoena?
First time they reached out to us was 2 days ago.
Yes, and of course the author expressed the concern that these materials may implicate interests of the executive. I think that was weeks ago. But having admitted without dissent your correspondence to the White House, can you produce that for us where you have sought an accommodation, where you've sought to work this out with the White House? Can you share that with us since that is now part of the record?
Well, I thought you had it. You wanted to enter it into the record.
I do. I presume that, knowing your responsibilities, you have sought to engage the White House. So,
Mr. Chairman, point
would
of
you,
order.
produce
Gentleman is
the...
recognized for point of order.
I think a unanimous consent request to submit something to the record is where the person who's asking for the floor is the proponent of submitting information that member has. I don't believe it's appropriate to ask a unanimous consent request to engage in a colloquy over discovering information or obtaining information from another member of the committee.
Great, and that's why I said the no objection to the unanimous consent request. If the gentleman from California wants to talk about that and present it to us, God bless him. He's allowed to do it. So it's 5 minutes.
I would like clarification from the chairman. Does this mean that there is no correspondence from you to the White House seeking accommodation on this material?
We've had all kinds of correspondence with the White House on this broad subject relative to the Zwan answer and the letter we got 2 days ago. We've not corresponded with the White House yet. If we will, we may. That's a decision we'll make.
And you have not corresponded with the White House seeking accommodation ever since the author who you are subpoenaing and seeking to hold in contempt articulated the view that there was executive interest and potential privilege over this material? You haven't sought to engage over the weeks since you received that communication?
We have not engaged with the White House since the letter on the 25th of this month, 2 days ago.
And prior to that time, did you engage the White House in an effort to obtain these
all kinds of
materials?
engagements with our counsel and counsel, both
I'm talking about
Justice Department and White House, with our counsel over the last several months relative to the special
I'm talking
counsel
about this
FERS
subpoena,
report.
Mr. Chairman. Did you engage with the White House at any time in the last several weeks since issuing this subpoena, the one you want to hold this witness in contempt for? Did you ever engage with the White House in an effort to accommodate, an effort to reach an agreement, an effort to prevent this from having to be litigated? Did you ever write any correspondence, make any call to the White House seeking to engage, seeking to get these materials that you're seeking from the author instead from the White House? Did you ever do that, Mr. Chairman?
We're seeking documents from a private individual who, I might add, tried to destroy the
So
evidence.
I guess the question is, I guess the answer is no.
Since
I
2
guess
days
the answer is no.
The answer is since 2 days ago, I'm not
asking the question about since 2 days ago, although nothing prevented
That's when they
you-
first raised the concern.
Nothing prevented you from writing a letter within the last 2 days or reaching out to the White House before this.
Now you want me to be clairvoyant and read the White House's mind and write a letter before they tell us something?
Nothing prevented you from seeking these
gentleman
materials
from
from the White
California
House
is known for
months, Mr. Chairman. For months.
I'm not a mind reader.
And
I don't know what
I thank you for making a very clean record for any court that will look at this.
The
that
gentleman
you
from
never
North Carolina
sought an
said
accommodation
months ago the
at
White House
all
could have raised the
to
concern,
obtain-
and they
to obtain these
didn't.
documents. Because your first move, of course, is to go right to contempt. Ironically, of course, for a chairman who was in contempt of his own subpoena.
Point of order, Mr.
We're still
Chairman.
waiting for you to testify and meet the obligations of your own subpoena, Mr. Chairman. But nevertheless, I appreciate you're making such a clean record for any court in this case that you have never sought an accommodation, never written to the White House, never called the White House, never had a communication with the White House in order to obtain these materials as part of an accommodation. Thank you for that very clean record for the court, and I yield back.
Gentleman yields back. Who seeks recognition?
This hearing was the moment many Americans have been waiting for. After years of hearing Adam Schiff go on television and claim he had smoking gun evidence, claim he had proof of conspiracy, claim the president was compromised, he finally had to sit there while Republicans on the Intelligence Committee told him the truth to his face. They laid it out clearly. He promoted a demonstrably false narrative, he misled the country, and he abused his position. And when you listen to the silence in that room after they finished reading that statement, that silence said everything. That was the sound of someone finally being held accountable. For years, Schiff told the public that collusion was real. He promised indictments, he promised evidence, he promised that the walls were closing in. And then the Mueller report came out. No collusion. No conspiracy. No criminal wrongdoing. A complete collapse of everything Schiff had been selling to the American people. And what did he do? Did he apologize? Did he correct the record? No. He doubled down. He moved the goalposts. Suddenly, it wasn't criminal anymore. It was just immoral and unethical. That's what people do when they get caught. They rewrite the story. The most incredible part of this hearing was watching Schiff try to pivot. Instead of responding to the fact that the special counsel refuted his entire narrative, he launched into a moral lecture. He listed the Trump Tower meeting. He raised his voice. He claimed Republicans think it's okay to accept foreign dirt. That is pure gaslighting. That is someone trying to distract you from the fact that they have no evidence left. And Republicans immediately pushed back. They forced him to confront the truth. They refused to let him rewrite their positions or put words in their mouths. Then came Mike Turner. Turner hit Schiff with what might be the harshest and most accurate comparison in recent political memory: McCarthyism. And he's right. Schiff has spent years accusing people of being compromised, unpatriotic, or working for foreign governments simply because he disagrees with them. That is not intelligence work. That is political theater. That is exactly what the American people are tired of. Turner telling Schiff he's advancing Putin's work by dividing the country was a devastating blow because it's true. Schiff's obsession with this hoax has done more to divide America than any foreign actor ever could. And if the hearing wasn't bad enough for Schiff, the procedural exchange made him look even weaker. When he was pressed on whether he followed the proper legal steps by coordinating with the White House about subpoenaed materials, he couldn't give a straight answer. Republicans exposed the fact that Schiff couldn't provide any correspondence, any effort, any documentation showing he followed the rules. They made him admit on the record that he never sought accommodation. That is not the behavior of someone seeking the truth. That is the behavior of someone trying to control a narrative. The bottom line is simple. Adam Schiff lost all credibility. The Republican members on the committee showed leadership, courage, and a commitment to the truth. Schiff showed deflection, avoidance, and desperation. He is not an intelligence professional. He is a political actor, a storyteller, someone obsessed with proving a conspiracy that never existed. The American people deserve better. Congress deserves better. And the Intelligence Committee deserves better. Adam Schiff should resign. His time is up, and everyone in that room knew it. Let me know in the comments, does Schiff survive this? Or is this finally the breaking point? And don't forget to like and subscribe because we will continue bringing you the truth they don't want you to hear.